Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Lex24. Sorry about being so late, guys. It's 2:30 in the morning over in England. I've just finished work. I work a night shift, so I tried, as soon as this news dropped, I was just thinking about nothing all day, about running back, doing a video, just getting my thoughts and impressions out there, because GW have just released the rules preview for the Genestealer cult, part 1. How many parts? We don't know. This is part 1. And it answers two of the questions that I think have been foremost in my mind when talking about Genestealer cult and their new rules. That is Unquestioning Loyalty and Colt Ambush, and how those two would work, because particularly Colt Ambush, it's almost integral to how the Genestealer cult works. And the rumours that were flying around before, where we had the table and a roll of d6 and that's what you get for Colt Ambush, throw that in the bin, that's garbage. It means absolutely nothing as far as we're concerned. It's completely different from how it was before. So no more random rolling. It's different. I like it. I don't think it's overpowered, but I enjoy it. But first off, we should look at Unquestioning Loyalty. Now, Unquestioning Loyalty, basically how the Genestealer cult works is that they are fanatics, they are zealots, and they always center around their leaders, and they will literally eat a bullet just to keep their leader alive, particularly the Patriarch. There is nothing these people will not do to keep their leaders alive, and that really shows in the rules here. Basically, essentially, I'm reading off the GW page now, essentially each time one of your characters fails a saving throw or suffers a mortal wound and is within 3 of a friendly Genestealer cult's unit with Unquestioning Loyalty ability, you can roll a dice. On a 4+, a model from the nearby unit is slain where your character remains unharmed. So basically that's it. On a 4+, you can take a model from a neophyte unit or an acolyte unit. They'll eat whatever wound or mortal wound is incoming, and your character is completely and utterly fine. Now that is in combat and in shooting as well, but to be fair, being characters in that, you shouldn't really be targeted for shooting anyway. So that is just in combat, which is super good. If you've got something like the Patriarch and you're in combat with something that's like a beast, and you want your Patriarch to be alive to either retreat, retaliate, or do other psychic shenanigans, then this is going to keep him alive. Also, we have a little preview of a stratagem. For 1 command point, you can get hypermetabolism. Even the most grievous wounds can be sealed over by those with the alien biology of the Tyranid under their skin. Basically, it works the same as rapid regeneration from the Tyranid Codex. D3 lost wounds for 1 command point. As far as my own experience with that particular type of stratagem goes, I've had mixed results. I've managed to keep my Storm Lord alive for a lot longer than he would have done by rapidly regenerating, but you'd be surprised how many command points you chew through when you're constantly using this thing on top of others as well. I'd like to see if there's a way the Genestealer cult can regenerate command points, but with the new rules on how you get command points back, it might be kind of limited, but it'd be interesting to see. Anyway, the main meal of this particular piece, sorry for that clicking by the way, that's my chair, it's old, it's really old, so I've got to get a new one. So basically every time I'm moving it might do a little click. Basically that's what that is. Colt Ambush. Like I said, forget old Colt Ambush, this is new Colt Ambush, and I like it. First off, it can be done in one of 2 ways. Setting up underground. Now this essentially is deep striking, as far as I can tell. I'll read it. Setting up underground. During deployment, you can set up infantry and bike units with the Colt Ambush ability underground. Just as a side there, I think we're safely assuming that most things in this codex will have Colt Ambush and Unquestioning Loyalty, apart from vehicles, because that's just the way the narrative works for these guys, I can imagine. At the end of any of your movement phases, some or all of these units can emerge anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches from any moss, aka regular deep striking. Now, I know it says there any of your movement phases, but the new rules for deep striking, meaning that you can't do it on turn 1, that's going to be still applying, guys. They mentioned down the big FAQ that it would apply for Genestealer cults, but they wrote the Genestealer cult codex to work with this rule as well. The freedom you'll have to suddenly strike your opponent's forces in great force from any direction will cause mayhem in their battle plans. Essentially, it's just deep striking. But this is the good one. This is the second part of Colt Ambush. setting up an ambush. The little blip counters that I did notice on the last picture didn't say anything, but I was wondering what they were. As you can see from the picture, we get these like radar counters. So basically, these will come into play. Instead of setting up a unit underground or on the battlefield, you can choose to place an ambush marker anywhere within your deployment zone. You can place a marker for each unit you choose to set up an ambush. Even transports and larger vehicles such as the Lehman Russ can be set up in this manner. The crucial detail here is that you don't need to assign which units are represented by each ambush marker, meaning that for every marker you can put whatever unit you want to represent that marker. Now I'm curious, will these markers interact the same way as setting up on the battlefield, meaning that you have to have at least 50% of your forces on the board, or will these sort of negate that? I'm curious to how that would work. That sounds like something that could be FAQ'd. There is also a sneaky stratagem that enables you to place additional ambush markers to further confound your opponent. Scanner decoys. The Patriarch's faithful make sure to disguise both their true numbers and their whereabouts. One command point again. Use a stratagem when you set up a unit from your army that is a Colt Ambush ability in ambush. Place 4 ambush markers for that unit instead of 1. If you have used a stratagem, then when you reveal ambush markers, once there are no units from your army remaining in ambush, remove all remaining ambush markers on the battlefield. You can only use a stratagem once per battle. Basically, I think that's just to throw off your opponents, meaning that your guys could be popping up anywhere under those 4 that they don't know. Like it says here, if you have first turn, you reveal all of your ambush markers at the start of your movement phase. If your opponent goes first, you said reveal all your ambush markers at the end of their first movement phase, and they cannot move anywhere within 9 inches of any ambush markers beforehand. Meaning, if your opponent's got a super quick unit that can zip across the board, then they can't move anywhere within 9 of these ambush markers beforehand. Wait a second, reading that back to myself. If your opponent goes first, you must reveal, yes, at the end of their movement phase. Meaning, if they have a super fast unit, they can't run up into your grill because they can't move within 9 of these markers until you reveal them, which is super good. These markers are revealed one at a time. Each time you do select one unit from your army, you set that up in ambush, then set one model from that unit within one of the ambush marker, followed by the other models in the unit. All units set up in this manner must be wholly within your deployment zone, that is, unless you further mess with your opponent by changing the nature of your ambush. Just as a quick aside, guys, going back to that movement thing, your enemy can't move within 9 inches of these are going to be perfect for stopping horrible flanking maneuvers because your opponent doesn't know what you're going to put down on these markers. So they could risk running straight to the board only to have a squad of pure strain Genestealers staring them down, which is what nobody wants. But, speaking of pure strain Genestealers, coming back to this stratagem, they came from below. Oh wait, no, it's not this one I was thinking of. Yeah, it doesn't matter. One command point. Genestealer cults use subterranean tunnel networks to evade their foes lurking underground until the time to strike is right. Use a stratagem before you reveal an ambush marker. Select up to 3 units, excluding vehicles, from your army that are set up in ambush. For each unit that you select, remove 1 ambush marker from the battlefield. The selected units are no longer set up in ambush and are instead set up underground, described in the Colt Ambush ability. Basically means that you can flip from ambush to going underground. Again, don't know how this will affect with your must have 50% of your army on the board before you start. But then again, if you reveal an ambush mark, you've already started the game, so that will be quite clever in removing your guys from the battlefield to set them up underground safely. So again, another really useful strategy. Here we go. This is the one I was sort of worried about, because you see, in the leaked pictures we had obviously the perfect ambush role, basically where you could set up right in your opponent's grill. And if you've got a squad of pure strain Genestealers with a Patriarch or Primus, then you're going to be wrecking face pretty quickly, and I can see that as being really, really unbalanced. But that is now appears to be a stratagem, the perfect ambush. 3 command points, so it's expensive. The faithful spring a perfect ambush. The foe is greeted with a hail of bullets, a horde of fanatics bearing down upon them. Use a stratagem in the movement phase. Immediately after you set up an infantry or bike unit from your army that has the Colt Ambush ability, on the battlefield, meaning ideally this is going to be for your deep striking units, the units coming up from underground. That unit can either move d6, even if it has arrived by reinforcements. Key thing there, minimizing your charge distance for your pure strange Genestealers or Barons. Really good. Or it can shoot with all its range weapons as if within a shooting phase. Again, you want to whittle down something with heavy firepower, maybe move into a position to get a good flamer shot off, or seismic cannons, or mining lasers, or whatever. This is the stratagem for you. Again, 3 command points, it's expensive, but there's a reason for that. Using the stratagem in your own turn does not prevent that unit from shooting in your shooting phase or making a charge in the charge phase. So basically, shooting twice or moving to get a preferred charge off. Guys, this is just, it's all good. I love what they've done with the Colt Ambush ability, particularly the markers. It really keeps your opponent guessing, and that is exactly what the Genestealer cult should be all about. They should be all about subversion and misdirection. Your opponent should not ever be able to counter-deploy to you when you're playing Genestealer cults, unless they have some kind of psychic insight into what you're thinking, which they probably don't, because we are protected by the Broodmind, of course. Anyway, guys, like I said, I wanted to make this a quick video. Well, as soon as this dropped, about 8 or 9 hours ago when I was at work, I was like, oh man, I just want to get back and talk about this, because this is making me really excited for Genestealer Cult, guys. Really excited. Cannot wait to this weekend when I can pre-order my limited edition codex. That's going to be pricey, but like I said, I love that kind of stuff, and I'm loving Unquestioning Loyalty. I'm loving the new Colt Ambush, and the 3 stratagems they've dropped so far are really nice. I'm so looking forward to seeing what cults there are out there. My particular cult, I want it to be like a that's a sort of a different video, but I kind of want mine to be linked to Mechanicus, like undermining Forge Worlds and mining operations, because that's what I really want to aim for my particular cult. But I can't wait to see the particular different cult bonuses or faction traits and the warlord traits. Oh, it's going to be all good, guys. This is going to be a great release for Games Workshop. I can see them really succeeding with this army release. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Sorry for it being so late, guys, in the UK, or just sorry for being late in general. But like I said, rush back. Wanted to put this out there. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoy, and I will see you next time. Cheers.